Last week, I attended the first ever GCAI conference in San Francisco, and I walked away genuinely impressed. For those who don't know, GCAI is an AI platform built specifically for in-house legal teams. It helps lawyers draft contracts, review documents, and research legal issues. The conference was at the Pearl. This venue was absolutely stunning, super high ceilings, intimate, 3 stories tall. Walking in, you immediately felt like this was going to be different from your typical tech conference. GCAI did an amazing job. Every single detail in that venue was nailed down to a T, from the themes, the posters, the branding, and especially the food. I'm not joking when I say the food was so good, I'd want it catered at my own wedding. Cecilia Ziniti, the CEO, opened up by saying, "This feels like 200 of my best friends all gathered around in a room." And looking around the room, you could definitely see that she meant it. Here's what hit me the most about Cecilia. Most legal tech CEOs are selling you a solution to a problem they might not have actually faced personally. They've studied the market, talked to lawyers, hired a consultant, but they've never been the one actually drafting a contract at 9 p.m. or going back and forth on their 20th red line on a contract. Cecilia spent over 15 years as an in-house lawyer, and she was actually the first lawyer at Alexa, at Amazon, literally building the legal frameworks for a product nobody had ever seen before. She was also the general counsel at Replit during their unicorn run, and before that, she led legal at Cruise, before autonomous vehicles were everywhere in San Francisco. Throughout the conference, there were many stories from actual GCAI users. There were CLOs who talked about how they were able to get home and actually tuck their kids in because they were able to get legal work done faster. One of the highlights of the conference was listening to Dennis Adsit. He's the president of Add Some Insights and a career coach. And he talked about what makes an effective leader in the age of AI. And his biggest advice, and I quote, was look for reasons to bring a keg in. As a leader, you're also the chief tone officer. Celebrate your team often. He really indexed on empathy and talked about how this was a huge missing piece of leadership these days. He also said, and I quote, people are literally dying for connection. He's an incredible career coach, and his panel on leading in the age of AI really fired up the room, in my opinion. Another great panel was hosted by their CRO, Andrew Connolly, who interviewed Robert Schlossman, the CLO at Zscaler, and Amanda Sincata, their director of legal operations. They actually received GCAI's Outstanding Adoption of AI Award. And hearing them talk about their implementation of AI tools was truly impressive. It sounded like Amanda had basically tried out every tool on the market, and she was a real expert in making sure her teams were able to leverage AI efficiently. There were also panels from in-house leaders from companies like Arc'teryx, Nextdoor, and Liquid Death sharing actual stories from the field. What struck me most was hearing how in-house GCs at B2C brands are pushing the limits on what they can do, especially in marketing as it pertains to what legal okays and doesn't okay. And they were just sharing real life examples about how they're using GCAI. It was cool to speak with over a dozen GCs and CLOs at the conference who were actual users of the product, and they truly talked about how good the product is. We see a lot of legal tech these days that promises to achieve great things and oftentimes at really high price points, but it's still really in the early stages. I think GCAI is truly different. It's truly an outstanding product. There was also great discussions about how the legal field is changing. I think one thing on everyone's mind was how AI is going to impact the legal field. I think one quote that really stood out to me to sum it all up was you will either be told what to do by the AI or you will tell the AI what to do. And the only real way to stay in control is to stay up to date. I also got to see some of the latest features they're going to be releasing. They showed a demo of their redlining tool for contracts, and I'll play a quick clip of that from their LinkedIn channel so you can see what I'm talking about. All in all, it was an absolutely fantastic conference, and I felt very fortunate to be there. If you're in-house or thinking about going in-house, GCAI is definitely worth looking at. This is legal AI built by someone who's actually done the job, and it truly shows.